Welcome back to our third video in our series to support school teams in Florida using the Tiered Fidelity Inventory, or TFI, to examine their implementation fidelity at the advanced tiers of PBIS support. Today's video will review how to enter the TFI and view and use related reports in the Florida PBIS Evaluation Data System, also known as PBSES. Following your school team's PBIS meeting to reach consensus on TFI Tier 2 and Tier 3 scores, a designated school point of contact should visit the Florida PBIS website to enter the consensus scores in the PBSES evaluation system. School contacts should receive their login information for PBSES from their district coordinator prior to the end-year evaluation cycle. To enter your TFI scores within PBSES, you should go to the Data, Tools, and then select School Data. You will see two forms under the open measures related to the TFI, one for the Tier 2 portion and one for Tier 3. Select the pending submission link next to the TFI tier that you would like to submit to open up the data entry window. You can now enter the scores that your school team agreed upon for each tiered domain of the TFI. Throughout entry, you have the ability to view scoring criteria for each individual item. Once you have completed all items in the entry form and ensure that no errors were present, you can submit your final TFI data. Once you have submitted your data, you should see Submitted under the Availability column for that portion of the TFI. You can also view your recent entry under View History. Following the same steps that were just reviewed, you can then complete your TFI entry for the Tier 3 domain by selecting the corresponding pending submission link. If you notice any data entry errors after you have submitted your TFI, you can contact your district coordinator to request an edit to your submission. Now that your TFI data have been entered into PBSES, schools can navigate to their school-level reports to access interactive data visualizations. These reports include all of the data you have entered into PBSES over time, and are a great resource to help you monitor trends, problem solve, and develop data-based action plans. Note that it might take 1 to 2 hours for the data reports to update to reflect your recently entered TFI data. In the school-level reports, schools can examine their total TFI percent score by year over time. They can also view their percent score across time for each of the subscales of Tier 2 and Tier 3 TFI domains. District coordinators have access to additional district-level TFI data, in which they can view the percent of schools in their district reporting Tier 2 and 3 implementation fidelity, as well as the average percent scores in their district across each subscale for the Tier 2 and 3 TFI domains. Your TFI results should inform the basis for action planning and for facilitating the decision-making process of a team as they identify which items will be the focus of their implementation efforts, what the specific actions will be for those items, who will lead in completing those actions, and the date by which the actions should be expected to be completed. This slide shows a sample action planning format for Tier 2 that you can access at the end of the TFI measure. A similar action planning process can take place for Tier 3 and should be informed by the data that was entered in PBSES and displayed in your school-level data reports. We hope you enjoyed our brief video demonstrating the online data entry process for the Tiered Fidelity Inventory and the resulting data reports that are available to help with action planning. For further support in completing the TFI, we recommend that you check out some of our additional videos in this series, which include an introduction to the TFI and an overview of the TFI's administration and scoring procedures.